Alright, we got Blade Beetle boss fight. I need to make a new actor in models. Blade Beetle. But before we can do that, I'm going to go to my YouTube. Wasn't it already over? He started getting back into the trails that he wasn't. Before you buy, I don't think you have to buy it. Library and oh, why is it mixed? Okay, well, this part is not Sandbox's ability to fix. I have no problem with AI. I'll put this on my wish list. Add to my wish list, there we go. And if it goes on sale, I'll buy it. If it doesn't go on sale before I finish Rocket Man X, then I will just pay full price for it. Okay. Anyways, gotta go to YouTube and we'll go to Mets Lord. What's that? Shady Do-Rag? Someone collab with Shady Do-Rags or doesn't look like it's normal. Okay, sorry. Next one. Mute video, so alright, audio. Alright. Knight's backup sword. Okay. So it looks like it's got a bright texture on the front, a dark texture on the back, medium texture in the middle. Alright, let's just go ahead and make the model for it. Actually,
How to make a basic sword. So you have no idea how to make a basic sword ribbon tray. Not a problem. Right click, Niagara system, create an empty system, finish.
alright, go ahead and go to not random particles. Niagara system. Completely empty. Okay. Call it sword trail.
Name it, open it, right click, add emitter,
Add emitter.
just use an empty one, then
And we just search empty. Okay. Completely empty isn't. Got it.
click on system spawn and set new existing parameters.
System spawn new existing parameters. Newer existing parameters.
Directly. Then under parameters, add a skeletal mesh.
Add a skeletal mesh.
Set the mesh to your character that has the sword sockets you'll be using.
Preview mesh.
There's a place in Candyland for everyone but me. For licorice is all but banned when loved is what it should be.
Then add two filtered sockets. Set the
Two filtered sockets.
first one to your weapon base and the second one to your weapon tip. Then
I see.
As
All who know me might suppose I've hatched a tasty plot.
A licorice that grows and grows until there's more than a lot. I place it in the circle.
Yeah,
sweet
filtered
and
socket
hot
is
it
the base and the tip of the weapon.
rise, and soon my chewy sticky goo will reach into the skies. Licorice here, licorice there, far as you can see. The smell of licorice in the air. So licorice everywhere, soon they'll understand. Life will be so great, so grand here in Licorice Land. Silence! Chocolate pops and strawberry shakes will be against the law. Oh,
Okay, let me
licorice
check.
birthday cakes.
Source actor.
Licorice treats will fill the streets, a glorious display.
Nice user
The
parameter,
world will
skinning
see
mode,
the
skin
licorice
on the fly.
Licorice here, licorice there, far as you can see, the smell of licorice in the air.
I guess I've just got to find your skeletal mesh models.
Licorice everywhere,
Play
soon
beetle.
they'll understand. Life will be so great, so grand here in Licorice Land.
Alright, let's say
I will rule from a castle with a pool. I'll look great on my licorice estate. Have a throne of my own, a licorice crown upon my head.
so do arm L, O1, and arm toe. I'll do arm L.
As you can see, the smell of
Yeah, arm L
licorice
to
in
arm
the
toe.
air. Licorice everywhere, understand. Things have been sublime.
Life will be utterly bland here in licorice land.
Then under the system update, add a sample skeletal mesh.
System update at the sample skeletal mesh. Sample skeletal mesh. And
Then on the right, under the arrow, hit new skeletal mesh.
the arrow, new skeletal mesh. New skeletal. New skeletal mesh. New.
Set mesh sampling to skeletal sockets. And set socket sampling mode to direct filter. Now right under the sample skeletal mesh, copy it, paste it again, click the second one, and then set socket sampling mode to direct filter.
Copy and paste it.
And bone paste it sampling mode to direct filter. Now right under the sample skeletal mesh, copy it, paste it again, click the second one, and then set socket sampling mode to direct filter. Copy it, socket sample, hit new skeletal mesh. Set mesh sampling to skeletal sockets, and set socket sampling mode to direct filter. Now right under the sample skeletal mesh, copy it, paste it again, click the second one, and then set socket sampling mode to direct filter, and bone socket index to 1. Then under system update, add a set parameter. Under the plus, add a vector,
Under set parameter.
index to 1. Then
Forget about that part.
under system update, add a set parameter. Under the plus, add a vector, then and again with the plus, add a float. Click the name and hit F2 to rename it to trail direction. And do the same thing and rename this to trail width. Then under trail direction, set it to subtract position. Then under A, set it to sampled position, which is the first one. Then under B, set it to sampled position using the third one. Then right click and copy the subtract system. Then under trail width, set it to vector length and paste your system and click and copy, which is the first one. Then under B, set it to sampled position using the third one. Then right click and copy the subtract system. Then under trail width, set it to vector length and paste your, then right click and copy the subtract. System. Then under trail width, set it to vector length. Third one. Then right click and copy the subtract system. Then under trail width, set it to vector length, and paste your system into the vector. Now if you click the particle under emitter update, spawn per frame, then under
Spawn per frame under emitter update.
initialize particle, set lifetime to something low, like 1.
Particle spawn, initialize particle.
.5 or probably even 0.3. Position mode should be direct set.
Unset.
And under position, set it to lerp. Then under A, set it to sampled and use the first one. Then under B, again set it to sampled using the third one. Set alpha to something like 0.5 so that it's transparent, and set ribbon width to direct set, and on the arrow set it to multiply float. Set A to trail width and ribbon facing mode to direct set. Then facing vector to trail direction, and then delete the sprite renderer because it betrayed you, and then replace it with a ribbon renderer. Then under facing mode, set it to cut system side vector. And in order to change colors, go to initialize particle and change color mode to direct set. And here you can change it to whatever you want. I'm a sucker for glowing red stuff, so that's what I'm gonna pick, but you can pick whatever color you like. Now under the animation montage, right click and add a notify state and add a timed Niagara effect. Montage, right click and add a notify state and change it to whatever you want. I'm a sucker for glowing red stuff, so that's what I'm gonna pick, but you can pick whatever color you like. Now under the animation montage, right click and add a notify state.
I add notify state to
and add a timed Niagara effect.
notify state and Niagara effect.
Drag it wherever you want it to show up during your animation. Set it to the particle you just created, set socket name to root, save, you're done. If you play to direct set, then facing vector to trail direction, and then delete the sprite render in the animation, now you will now see sort. Now under the animation montage, right click and add a notify state, and add a timed Niagara effect. Drag it wherever you want it to show up during your animation. Set it to the particle you just created, set socket name to root, save, you're done. If you play the animation now, you will now see sword trails. If your trail is lasting too long, it's probably because the life is too long, so again, 0.3 might be a better number. And here's the cool part, you can change the look of this trail just by swapping out the material here. I absolutely love this effect, it's my favorite one, and I hope you guys
So I have to assume that the only thing that's not working here is the skeletal mesh. Filtered sockets not. Bone socket index. Sampling mode. Why do the year-old tutorials stop? Why? Okay, I am streaming. Just gotta make sure that this rant can be heard by people. Why would Unreal change this after the fact? Mesh without losing the sockets over. Not what I'm looking for. Sockets. Alright, I can try. Aha! let's go ahead and delete this. Alright, what are you? Dodgeables. Now you are in Spike Toe R. Spike Toe R. Alright, I guess we can go R2. At sockets. And at socket. And we can say something. And then we delete both these sockets. Alright, Spike Toe. Spike Toe R. Add a socket. Spike Toe R02. Add a socket, and then we move it out as such. This. Yeah, and then we will put first. That's it. Then we will go ahead and say go. Add and delete. Spike Toe, Spike Toe. If any built-in sockets that will R onto socket. Alright, now we shall save and play 5 left. Alright.
Sockets, and set socket complete. Then under parameters, add a skeletal mesh. Set the mesh to your character that has the sword sockets you'll be using. Then add 2 filtered sockets. Set the first one to your weapon base and the second one to your weapon tip. Then under the system update, add a sample skeletal mesh. Then on the right, under the arrow, hit new skeletal mesh. Set mesh sampling to skeletal sockets, and set socket sampling mode to direct filter. Now right under the sample skeletal mesh, copy it, paste it again, click the second one, and then set socket sampling mode to direct filter, and bone socket index to 1. Then under system update, add a set parameter. Under the plus, add a vector, then again with the plus, add a float. Click the name and hit F2 to rename it to trail direction, and do the same thing and rename this to trail width. Then under trail direction, set it to subtract position, then under A, set it to sampled position, which is the first one. Then under B, set it to sampled position using the third one. Then right click and copy the subtract system, then under trail width, set it to vector length.
Please let that be the problem. Oh. You have to have a
And
root
paste
socket
your
in there.
system in position mode should be A to trail view modes wherever you want. Drag it wherever you want it to show up during your animation. Set it to the particle you just created. Set socket name to root. During your animation. Set it to the particle you just created. Set socket name to root.
You have to have a thing that pops up here. Maybe bone? Bone! Save. And it's still not popping up. Not bone. Bone. Yeah, that one. Code trail. Why are you not working? Why did you decide to not be working? Okay, that is Spike R1. Alright, which one's actually doing the slicing in this one? Pause. That would be Spike L. So go. Spike L, like so. L add a socket, and then add a socket to this one too. Alright. So short trail. And add to L socket and add to L socket. Okay, now we can just do you guys. Set it to 2 and set this one to 3. Now we go back to slice left. And you still aren't doing the thing. Play beetle. Only this less. Why is nothing showing up? Why is nothing? 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 Why is it? Why is it nothing? Why is it always, 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 always nothing? Why is it? Why is it? Why is it? Why is it always nothing? Why do you break? Why do you decide that you should never work when you could easily work and not have problems?
Save, you're done. If you play the animation now, you will now see sword trails. If your trail is lasting too long, it's probably because the life is too long, so again, 0.3 might be a better number. And here's the cool part. You can change the look of that helps and hope you have a thing.
Okay. Let's hope that you're better at this tutorialing than that guy was.
Hello, in this video I'm going to go over how you can add
People who don't need hard sockets to have this work various weapons can do it by making a notify statement in the beginning and end on event to the character direction. Pause an event to weapon
Quick disclaimer before we start, this video won't show you how to create the parkour effect. We'll be using a free one from the Unreal Engine Marketplace. Also, if you want even more free Unreal Engine content, using a free one from the Unreal Engine Marketplace. Also, if you want even more free Unreal Engine content, make sure to check out my free Unreal Engine beginner course. You can find a link to it in the description of the video. With that said, let's get into it. Hello, to get
so quiet. Make a sword trail system. Minutes. Okay.
Today we'll make slash trail. Create Niagara system and add empty emitter. Disable sprite renderer and add ribbon renderer. Add spawn rate module and spawn particles. Reduce
Spawn rate. Iter update is spawn rate.
lifetime and set initial ribbon width. Go to animate. File and add timed Niagara effect. Put Niagara system that we made. But still we cannot see particle. Cause we need to attach to the bone. Find bone we need and we can add socket for attach particles. So we can move ANS rotate socket. If we set socket name, then now we can see trail particles. If we can move ANS rotate socket. If we set socket name, then now we can see trail particles. Ribbon renderer. Add spawn.
Okay, let me. Who are you? A man or a Superman? Particles. Sword trail, we can delete that. Is it? No, it's not. Save. Alright, we can delete you now. Niagara system completely empty. Create beetle sword trail. Alright.
Create Niagara system and add empty emitter.
Empty. Yeah, it's completely empty.
Disable sprite renderer and
Disable sprite renderer. There is no sprite renderer, but I can add a ribbon. Ribbon renderer.
add ribbon renderer. Add spawn rate module and
So we got emitter state and spawn rate. And
spawn particles.
66, you say?
Reduce lifetime and set
0.15. You are an initialized particle under particle spawn. At 0.15.
set initial ribbon
Ribbon width to 100. Initial direct set 100.
Go to animation file and add
Go to the animation file and add a time Niagara effect. Alright. Add notify state, time Niagara effect. Here to
timed Niagara effect. Put Niagara system that we made. But
beetle sword trail.
still we cannot see particle. Cause we need to attach to the bone. Find bone we need and we can add socket for attach particles. So we can move ANS rotate socket.
Alright, let's collapse all of the main bones. Alright. We'll go into it should be arm L. And it looks like I can do any of them. Say add socket, arm toe L socket.
If we
Oh. So we got phone name and socket name? What did you click on before that?
so we can move ANS rotate socket. If we set socket name, then now we can see trail particles.
Okay. So let's go arm toe socket. Go to the start. And we will say all the way over here. Oh, interesting. And the lifetime beetle sword trail spawn rate is 66. Initialized part of the lifetime is supposed to be 0.15. Why is it not disappearing?
Let's make material for trail.
Why is it not disappearing? What? And how do I fix the width? Well, okay. So I guess it goes in the middle of the sword. I don't know where that is exactly, but I can then say initialize particle. We set this to 4,000. Is that gonna work? Yeah, the lifetime of the socket is being ignored. Wait, perhaps I'm missing a node. Alright, emitter state, initialize particle, particle state. Nope.
Module and spawn particle.
Alright. Go to 1,000. Is that what 10,000? 100,000. Yep, that's 10,000. I can't see anything. Because you refuse to disappear. Why? Why do you refuse to disappear? That doesn't make any sense. Well, let's make you blue. 0, 0. Okay. Yeah, so this would be probably pretty good if it weren't for the fact. Okay. How do you fix that? That is so weird. I have a particle in Unreal Engine which has a lifetime of 0.15. However, it is ignoring this and staying alive forever. Alright, what if the spawn rate is... I just have you. Okay, never mind. What if I had you at 20? That's just the amount of... Yeah, that's just the amount of stuff you... kind of stuff that goes into your making. Okay. So, do that. The default emitter state spawn rate is at 20. Initialize particle. Is default except for lifetime, color, and ribbon width, which is set to 100. Sorry, 1000. $5. Color. Blue. Ribbon width. 1000. And it has a default render. And a default ribbon render. Why it is being called in a animation by a timed Niagara effect. Why no disappear? Dead trails on source loss. If you don't know, just say so. Okay. This is so frustrating. Why do you just randomly decide that you're not going to... Alright, loop it once. Why is it not disappearing? Alright, ribbon particle. Particle stylized fire position. Far too long. I only need to lowering the lifetime particle settings goes to a large size when perceptible. Lifetime determines duration of particle, not scale of the particle. Ribbon width is 12. How do I stop the particle simulation from getting too big? That is... So you're saying you have the problem, but you're not. Okay. Ribbon particles will be a bit tricky to work with because they work differently than other particles. For ribbons, the particle lifetime determines how long the trail stays active, aka how long the trail is. In order to adjust the overall lifetime of a ribbon, you need the life cycle of the emitter. In my screenshot, this is probably the setup you want with the loop duration and emitter state. Life cycle mode self. Okay, well, maybe I have to save it first. Still there. Alright. Inactive response complete. Loop behavior once. Duration fixed, loop duration 1. So 3 months later, this post come across it because my ribbon particle is lasting forever and the lifetime variable wasn't working for me either. For anyone else who finds this, I had to add a particle state module under emitter properties. Particle state. Thank you. Was it particle update or... Yeah, particle update, particle state. And... Yep. Aha! Oh. Start 5 and arm toe L, go arm toe R, add socket, arm toe R socket, L socket, the arm toe R socket. Alright. Great. Except for R to R socket. L socket. Tip location, copy. Paste. I don't think it will look like that though. Rotation. Alright. Sword tree. Particle state, we can turn that off for now. Save. Go to you. Alright. We can rotate you 90 degrees. Control X, Control V. 0. 0. Why does the pause button never work? Go idle, slice left. Save. Go to Beetle Sword Trail. Spawn rate. Spawn rate. Pause is not working, but that's okay. Fine. You want to story about that? Yeah. Gather around, folks. I want you to know it's none of this here story, because it went out to hunt. It was on one Sunday morning. Though he was a Christian young man, but he gun all thing he shot was a bunch of fine quails, and he shot him a nice fat ham. And through made a great big grizzly bear. Set up a great long prayer. To the heaven on there. And the belly of the whale. The 3 Hebrew boys from the fire furnace there. And licked his mouth at him. About 3 o'clock it broke. Reverend came down. Before he struck the ground. Ah. Put 90 here. Go our socket, let's find out how we can. With the golden hair on that mountain top.
And set color. Check socket low action. Let's make material more dynamic. We will use 2 color. So add new color with texture.
I gotta make my way. I gotta climb he's way up. The way up there. I gotta get laddie bear. A laddie with the golden hair. Activate hero, and we're in pose, but that explains things. Alright, mirror modify it. Down. R90. It's misery for lonely me way down in this valley. Oh, wait a second. Oh, never mind. He's away up there and up. Way RZ90. RZ90. Golden. LP with groups. Alright. What are your names, please? Like R. Spike toe R. Spike toe R. Spike toe R. M. A. Arm toe. Arm toe R. Well, and spike go outside, and then drag you to down, down. So verify. Yep. And explore as a PX. Then we go Blade Beetle models, and then Blade Beetle, Blade Beetle, with mesh, then back to the boss fight, see how the swords compare. Okay. Go back to frame 1. Bigger. Scale. Control C and Control V. Paste it into all of it. Then move it out a bit. Stick. And then paste and paste, paste, then thing file import as FBX, re-import the mesh. Alright, so this will work for all parallel animations. Well, it keeps working a week. Yep. Feisty foe, race T gang. Alright. Wait, beam slash doesn't exist, does it? I don't think it's used in the APP. I think it's just a holdover. Yeah, because it's just block. Okay, block then. Alright, we will go to a notify track, add notify state, timed Niagara effect. Start about right here. Alright, and this one will be beetle sword trail. And it will be arm, toe, R socket. Alright. State. State. Right. Visualize particle. Let's go to 300. I probably need to follow. Alright, that works. Even though it doesn't actually match up perfectly, it still looks good because it's small enough. Alright. Insert, insert, insert. We'll see. Find its exact placement. And right here, I'll try to paste it in. Alright. Not all of you will work though, so we'll have to go arm toe L socket. Alright, and we gotta get spike toe. Spike toe R socket. We have spike toe R socket. Arm toe. Arm toe. Arm toe. Toe. Alright, but we got spike toe R socket, so we can just arm R R L R. Control A, delete. Spike toe R. Ah. I'll actually delete you. I'll go to you. It'll be A. Spike. Toe or 2 aside. Alright. Now we just gotta go spike toe L02. So, yeah, towards the end of the sword. Spike toe L, at socket. Spike toe, arm toe, R. Control A, spike toe, L socket. Don't do that. Control C. Alright. Fly. You're also parallel, so we'll go ahead and go fly forward actually. Control V. Control V. Yeah, we'll just alright, I guess I gotta do this. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. Alright. Play beetle. Fly. Go 8. Or trail. Interstate. System.
Ah! That hurt!
Alright, anytime it's parallel would also mean birth. We don't have to worry about you, because you're not actually splitting. Idle isn't doing anything. Slice left and slice right are perpendicular. Spin. Alright, we'll go. Yep, you'll just all continue. Start notify track. Move you up here, all the way to the end. Alright. Play beetle. Take 8 back to you. And then we'll go 2, 3.
Ow!
Alright. Spin. Ultimate. Ultimate, what do you use? You enter parallel position. Alright. Alright. Let's go ahead and do control paste. Notify track. Let's add you up here. Ensure that I didn't mess anything up. Go back to frame 0. Okay, yeah, here I'll just, it'll all be frame 0 to the whole time. Alright. Beetle. Alright, we'll plug 6 into you. Go to 6. Alright, walk forwards and walk backwards, don't need it. Alright. Let's enter parallel position. Sorry, enter perpendicular. X. Is that BX? Alright, let's just... Oh yeah. What do we have? Alright, Blade Beetle. Let's... Ultimate. $4. Alright, let's look and see. Okay, so in actuality, the swords are being held at their handles. I don't remember citing that, but you fix. Island FBX. Re-import the mesh. Re-import the mesh. File export as. And then re-import the mesh. Now let's take a look at it. Yep, that's close enough. I believe there are only 2 things in the entire system. Control V. And remove this notify. All of back to about frame 4. Now I'll go to frame 12. They're all going to use different bones. So, arm toe O2 socket. Unless I can, oh, I can add another one. Okay. Stop doing that, please. Gotta let it out, gotta let it out. 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 Move fast, baby, don't. Alright, arm, toe, L socket. Spike, spike, arm, toe, L. The arm, toe, L socket 01. Okay, then we are going to go ahead to arm, toe, R, and let us find another. Let's put in the middle of the sword. Arm, toe, R, arm, toe, R, arm, toe, R, socket, L. Okay, then we're gonna go down to spike, toe, L, and then head socket, head socket, head socket, and socket, head socket, head socket, head socket. Spike, toe, L socket, spike, toe, L socket, 0, and then R. Spike, toe, R, nose, thing. And then we go spike, toe, R. Spike, toe, R, socket. Okay. Control C, and then we go slice right, and then we go to about 4, and Control V, slice left, and Control C. Select all of them, and then Control C. Then we go to slice right, and then Control V. U4 start at frame 0. Bigger, bang, bang, bang on my devil trigger. Over. Oh yeah. Blade beetle. Put it in false and then go 0. Into you. Okay, now I can delete these 4 things, and then we export as FBX again, and then save and go to Unreal Engine, re-import the Bishop Blade Beetle, and then we go to Blade Beetle. Go to BP Blade Beetle. Go to BP Blade Beetle, and we will plug you back into this thing. And my only concern is, I just realized. Oh wait. that's going to cause you to have to go to pick up one of your swords. Still. Alright, go to BP Blade Beetle, add a 9th one, and the 9th one is also going to be Collector Rod. Oh. Oh. Wait, hold on. 10 needs to be clone self. And you want to go to slice, not spin. Come on.
No.
Alright, so that was really easy. You know what, though? I haven't finished him. Add an 11th one to collect random spawn. If it equals 4, we'll slice instead. Killer! Okay. Okay. So what I can do is I can say, before we do any of this, having 5, 9, and 11. Do all this, I can say if it equals 4, that's true. We'll do this. That's false. We will collect random fraud. Preventing us from ever having to calculate if it's 0, meaning that these guys are completely irrelevant. So then we can go here, click these guys. So then it becomes 3 slices. Actually, 4 slices, 3 spins. One ultimate, which goes into slice if it fails. One fly 1, which goes into slice if it spin if it fails. One fly 2, which goes into spin if it fails. And then one clone self and no 11. And then none of this, it just becomes if you are scared. We'll roll a random number from 1 to 10. Alright. So we do that. And keep him distracted by hitting with the hologram attack. And now that he's distracted and has to pick up all his swords, go in and hit him wherever we want. I can get out, hologram him again. Alright. Saved. Alright, that prevents the whole thing, and should still be good. Alright, now we can go to Blender, go to File, New, General. And then we can Shift A cube. And then we got to do a thing. Generate mirror and bring it out here. Delete the faces and then we no, let's not do that. Let's subdivide. A and then subdivide. And then make it a bit bigger and a bit bigger like this. But still shrink down a lot. And then we pull you out. Bring you down a little bit. The same for you. Pull you out like so. Pull you out. Pull you out like this. Make you guys down by quite a bit. Shade smooth now again. Apply the mirror modifier and then go to UV editing. Hey, UV unwrap angle based. We will mark the seam right here. UV and then mark seam UV unwrap angle based. Alright, I gotta get going because I got a thing going on later. Play beetle actually, so bye.